Today, let's talk about how I found some great $7 instructions for a MOC on Rebrickable and 816 pieces worth about $50 off of Bricklink and built this amazing giant scale minifigure. Hi there, Old and Surly here. I thought I'd take a moment to give you my thoughts on this recent build that I just completed. What you're looking at here is a MOC from Rebrickable by a user calling himself SassySeal, all one word. And he's got a wide variety of different MOCs that he has created on Rebrickable, most of which are paid, such as this one here, but they are definitely worth the money. Not only has he done this minifig, he's also done Commander Cody, Commander Fox, Captain Rex in this size with the appropriate coloring and additional uniform and armor pieces, as well as doing several Transformers that I think are leaps and bounds more detailed than what you find in the Optimus Prime Lego set, and a wide array of Pacific Rim Jaegers. I mean, it's impressive just the sheer volume of those he's done as well. I'm very interested in jumping into those and taking a look at those, and some other things such as some housing and modular style items like that. But to focus on what we're looking at here, you're looking at an 816 piece clone figure. Obviously stands 11 inches tall, and as you can see in comparison to your standard clone fig, it is definitely an awesome display piece. I'm looking forward to putting this on my desk at work just to catch people's attention. Starting at the top, you've got a fully articulating head, so it does rotate without any issues very smoothly. And what I like in particular is just the sheer amount of detail that has been put in here by the use of shadows and angles like it is. So you really capture a lot of that 3D printed effect that you see on the normal clone trooper, but you get it within a very nicely scaled helmet on this side as well. Going down into the arms, both of the arms are fully rotating. They even have studs inside so that you could hold something. For example, in some of the pictures, I actually put one of the minifigures in there. But I'm very curious if perhaps I could take some bricks and build some type of scaled blaster. And I don't know if SassySeal has any ideas for doing that, but I would highly suggest, if he hasn't thought about that, I think it would be a great way to really complete this figure. And I think it would work for not just this, as well as the other three that he's also designed for the named clones. I love the detailing and the 3D effect that he's built into both the front and the back of the figure. Midsection, as you can see there, these are all pieces that you attach on to include the backpack. And the legs as well. I won't move those right now. Well, what the heck, let's go ahead and move it. So you can actually articulate both legs. It doesn't go as far back, but it does move forward and backwards, as you see. Although I would be a little bit hesitant to try to set this up in some way with one leg, because I think just the weight and the way it's built, I would be a little cautious of it not being sturdy enough on a single leg. But that is something you could consider. So again, it is a paid MOC. It takes about 2 hours to build in total. I think, give or take my own laziness and going back and looking at it. The PDF instructions are very well documented, so I had no major issues there. The only small issues I had were actually of my own design, if you will. When you're putting together the midsection, that's where I got a little bit confused, and that's where I'm saying that's where it's all user error. Some of the parts are actually lined up on his diagrams, but they don't actually click together at that point. So you're going to kind of line them up, and then in steps following, start to actually connect them to where they become a solid piece. So just don't get frustrated or confused with that. And you'll do fine. I love especially the very clean lines of the midsection where he's used the side building technique to allow it to really give it a nice smooth finish, but still show a lot of detail in there. I think that was a very, very smart move. And he does a rather ingenious way of connecting both of the angled sides, using some very unique builds there that I was a little confused at first, but once the piece actually assembled, it was just such a beautiful idea. So great job on that as well. Probably the only thing I might suggest if I was to rebuild this is the central section is sturdy, but if you did put a little bit too much pressure in the center there, the walls are essentially hollow inside, so you could potentially collapse those, or if maybe you accidentally drop this to the side or something, it might split. It's easy to reassemble. But if I was to do it again, I might put some type of center support structure in there, mount it from the bottom of the belt line, and just mount it up all the way to the top so you have a center line to give it a little bit more structural strength. But again, You can pick this thing up, you can move it around, you can squeeze it, it's not going to break. I'm just suggesting if you were to perhaps have a weird situation pop up, but even building it like it is, you'd have no issues putting this thing together and having a great time with it. So overall, again, I can't say enough good things about this. I'm always happy when I can support a designer with their normal designs, but to find one that's paid and is reasonable for the costs and gives you such a great product, it's just a complete home run in my books. I will provide a link to his Rebrickable page. I highly recommend taking a look at this, especially if you're a Star Wars fan, but also take a minute to look at his other great designs. If you're a mech builder or a Transformers fan, I don't think you can go wrong. I'm looking forward to purchasing several more of his designs just so I can try those out, because if he's put the amount of time and effort into those builds as he has with this one, I think it'll be a very pleasant and surprising way to learn some new techniques. If you have any questions or you'd like to see any additional photos or video on this, please feel free to reach out. I always love to answer questions whenever possible. Again, this is Old and Surly saying have a great day and keep building.